All right, folks, this is actually important. Pay attention. You need to be able to explain and articulate your hiring procedure and why. If you don't, you're opening yourself up for discrimination lawsuits. You're opening yourself up for bad PR inside and outside the company. Outside the company, outside the company, it'll be your competitors talking about you. Now, you may say, I bump my competitors. I don't care what they say. No, it's important. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your competitors more than likely are paying your future employee. I've noticed while being in the business that a lot of employees kind of go in the same loop. Once you get to a certain level, you're kind of in this loop. You know, like you might be at Salesforce at a certain level, then you're over at Twitter at a certain level, then you're over here at like some other company, some healthcare company, Emory, something like that at a certain level. You know, they kind of float around this area because when you're talking about recruiters or other recruiters are basically um, they are promoting the resume. They're not promoting psychographs or how this person will be a great fit for your company, etc. They're promoting, hey, if you worked at Instagram, I got two people from TikTok that are ready to jump ship. Let's talk. And see, Instagram will look at it like, okay, this is something that we're interested in because not only is that employee coming over here and we need these position fields, but they're also bringing us competitor inside information. Even though people sign NDAs and all other good crap, we both know that people talk. You know, a couple shots, a couple drinks at a company happy hour. Next thing you know, you're getting the secret sauce right over the mark. You know what I'm saying? So we know that happens, and we're human. We're not perfect, and things slip, and that's how, generally speaking, that's how it happens. So when we go back to the hiring process, you need to know why everything is done the way it is. Now, there's times where you have a vacant position and you're like, man, I need this position filled immediately. Like, I don't even care. You know what? I know normally we do 3 interviews, but today we only doing one. I know we normally require a 4-year degree, but today a high school diploma will work. You know what I'm saying? Because you get that confident about your training information. Like, you know that you can basically, run a pit bull through the training program and it's going to be able to do exactly what you need done because you've created, as an entrepreneur, you've created such a flawless system to where anyone can pretty much do it. Like if you don't get it after the system is delivered, and it's like you're an idiot, right? The problem is that if you skip over your procedure when hiring folks, everything you've done was for a reason. When you shortcut that, you're shortcutting your preventative measures. You're what you're doing is you're taking down your defense, the ability to protect yourself. All right. And let me give you an example. Everyone in this company so far is, I'm going to say male, or we're going to say black. It doesn't matter. Let's just simply say there happens to be a common trait. Everyone in this company is over 35 years old. It's not about, they're that way just because of them getting along and they're the best fit for the group, not necessarily, you understand what I'm saying. Let's say everyone in this group listens to hip hop. How about that? If the one guy that comes in listens to rock and roll and he goes and he talks with the group, let's just say y'all, there's no bad blood. Let's just say y'all get along. They're gonna say, hey man, I had to go through 3 interviews, 4 interviews, because remember, employees talk. I had to go through 5 interviews to get here. And I'm like, oh, I just had one. I just had a phone call. They're like, what? Oh, well, how did you pass it? Yeah, how'd you do in the assessment? I didn't even take the assessment. What? The other group is going to feel discriminated against. Okay? Like for example, I was going through a process. I'm leaving the name of the company out for right now. But I was going through the process, and I had, and the person who brought me in, he was like a vice president. He didn't go through any of the stuff I went through. So, like for me, I had to take an assessment. I had to do a mock interview. Then I had to do the actual interview, which was 3 interview interviewees, or no, 3 interviewers, and then after that, if I would have been accepted, then I would have been able to start whatever. When I told him the stuff I was going through, he was like, "What?" He's like, "I didn't have to do any of that. I just put my information in. They called me. I talked to one guy, and that was it." If the shoe was on the other foot, I would tell you how I felt. I felt like that ain't right because I had to go through all this, right? Other people are going to feel the same way as what I'm trying to get at. And you don't want your future employees that's sitting over at your competitors right now confused, not knowing they need to jump ship and come join your company and make your company better. They are going to go off word of mouth. That's external. Internal is that you don't want people, like I said, he didn't have to go through it. I had to go through it. You don't want people internally talking about, man, they made me go through a whole lot and all this other stuff. You don't want that either. All right, because that opens you up for folks to be able to identify a pattern, and it's discrimination. You know what I'm saying? It can be discrimination. That can be argued. You set yourself up for that. But now, if you give everyone the same process, everyone gets treated the same, you don't have to worry about that. Also, let me also tell you this too. Knowing your hiring process is critical for clarity for the people that are coming into the company as well. Because I've been on the other side of the table. I've been on both sides, and on the other side, when you're trying to get on, you don't know what to expect. And there are companies that do great jobs at telling you what the next step is going to be, and there's companies that do a phenomenally horrible job at it. Like, they call you, basically, they may call you the day of for an interview. You know what I'm saying? Bad strategy, usually. Their interviews might be like, straight and to the point, like, hey, can you do this, and get off? Bad strategy. You know what I'm saying? But at least knowing what happens will allow your company to have consistency within the hiring process, which is going to mitigate your liability when it comes to discrimination, because everyone is going through the same process. All right. So having the ability to explain your hiring process is critical for candidates coming on, for your current employees, and for your future employees that are stuck over at your competitor, not knowing that you got all the sauce. Other than that, see you on the other side.